Well, I'd entertain a motion to accept the agenda with the additions. Motion by Len, second by Ving, all in favor? Unanimous?
By a few.
Yeah,
Second by a few.
a few, by a few. So we have several things in open here. Len, why don't you go ahead with your open?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. Good morning, everybody. I need to talk to council regards to the Elmo baseball dugout projects. First of all, I want to thank Tribal Lands. I know they were doing a lot of work yesterday and trying to get that prepared. During the elders meeting, I was approached by Junior. Junior has identified a contractor that would be able to start on the project right away, and has assured us that he would be able to complete this project before the powwow. Okay, so he has been communicating with them, has received a quote for the project. And so he was wanting to move forward with that. So today I need to ask council for permission to enter into a sole source contract with this contractor to start the building of the dugouts. And it's just based on the circumstances. I mean, we're really short of time here and don't really have any time to do any kind of advertisement for the project or anything like that. But so that's where we're at with the project. So if need be, I would make the motion to enter into a sole source contract to complete the Elmo baseball diamond project.
Carol?
Require a little more information, like how much are they going to charge us? Who's the contractor? I mean, I would like to know a little more before and I don't want to be the one having to oppose because I don't have all the information. I don't want to be disrespectful to you, but I just think it requires a little more because we get contractors that don't know what they're doing. And I'm sure this one does, but I just feel like it requires a little more information.
Are the baseball fields part of land's responsibility with the powwow area?
That's always been unclear in regards to that particular site. So I know they have stepped up in the past because nobody really took responsibility, but Lands has always been maintaining that. So,
Tom?
but go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to ask Len, is this, does it fit within, I guess we would need to know the amount and who it is, but does it fit within that $100,000 community betterment money that what you're going to use?
Yes, it does. Okay. And that's the fund that we were going to use.
Good, good.
Mark, what do you know about the baseball fields in Elmo?
We just got the information from Greg and Tony this morning on it. It was brought up yesterday at the elders meeting. Our crew was out there. They were going to demo and rebuild just to get it done for the powwow. It was told for us to stand down. Montana Valley Fence is the one who turned in a quote that Junior has been working with. They got all that paperwork with us. Greg just gave us the contract stream on it to build to it. The quote on it was for the material, for the backstop, and the dugouts. And I say dugouts, both, so both be plural. Total quote was $17,136. And I believe it's going to be chain link fencing all the way down around it.
So is this a contract handled just in Lands then, or?
Right now, we just need a sole source approval so we can get it through contracts and grants to get it signed off on. He did give us the account string to the community funds so we can bill it directly to it and it's not coming out of tribal lands budget. Desiree Nault right now is working up the contract with Mission Valley Fence just to get all the W-9 and everything in place so we can get it sent up to contracts and grants as soon as possible to get cleared so they could get it, so they could go out and start work as soon as possible.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mark. That's the detail I needed. Yeah, I would certainly second that motion, based on the time consideration of the powwow and they're gonna put on a softball tournament. Sounds very reasonable.
Motion by Len and second by Tom to go with the sole source contract to get the dugouts and the field in shape for powwow. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, Len. Then you had
I might be able to hit a ball.
something for open.
I did. I do have something for open. I would like to ask for a change of duty status for Wednesday, August 21st with supervisor approval for any tribal employee who would like to attend a public film showing of some of the tribal civics films at the SKC Theater, from 9 to 3 p.m. So I would just like to ask, change of duty status on that day for any tribal employees who want to see some of the tribal civics films. There'll be a public showing Wednesday, August 21st, 9 to 3, SKC Theater.
Any objection to having a change of duty for folks who want to attend showing of the civics films? With supervisor approval? Videos go for 4
9 to
hours.
3. 9 to 3.
So you're looking for all 4 hours, I imagine. Don't like the length of time? I think we're okay there.
So it's approved?
Yes.
Great, thanks.
Carol, you had a report for open? Or we,
Or just a request again for a porta potty for the Harley, skate park and the walking path down there. And then also, I know I brought up the basketball courts. I think Bing mentioned something about it too, adding on to that, and I guess it's really up to Jimmy and Bing on maybe moving forward with Patty and Willie. I don't know, but I know they are definitely interested in getting that basketball court extended and blacktopped because it's used throughout the year.
thanks, Carol. Well, is that all the open issues? Tom? Okay, Bing, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just well follow what Carol was saying there. That we had a 3-on-3 there this past powwow here, and they played 99 games over there for basketball, you know, and it'd be great to have that other addition on there, you know, with that court, you know, especially resurfacing, because it's getting kind of rough, you know, right now. Out there when my son was lining it again, you know, and I was looking at it and it's getting some chips and whatnot. So it's about time this does get resurfaced. And I appreciate Carol for doing that, you know, and it's good. It would be good for the kids because there's a lot of basketball goes on up there all the time. So I appreciate it.
Who do we talk to about doing that? I mean, it's the bid and all that kind of stuff.
Tom?
That's what I was gonna bring up, Carol. It would be great, Mark, or someone in your shop, since you're here. So, yeah, Missoula Concrete, Yes. Yeah, there's actually multiple companies put in those vault toilets. So if you could get bids, because we need it for Pablo, we need it for Ronan, we need it for probably a couple down in Arley, obviously. So, we'd be looking at least 4. Unisex or, depends on the budget. The budget's quite elaborate, so we probably could do doubles, you know, men and women. And, do something nice. Go at the church.
Saint Ignatius, no, I mean, that's not open all the time though, I believe.
I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, once you get a price though, once we get we're probably gonna need them in other locations, so, yeah. You'll do that? ASAP? Cause you have to put the order in. Well, all they use is, a pump, the pump service. They haven't put in any since we did Salish Point. The last ones we bought were at Salish Point.
Thank you, Tom, Bing, Carol. If that's all for open, we'll go into executive. Out of regular into executive. Danielle?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make a motion that this family stay in the home out Hot Springs, Nirada area with a payment today or no later than the 18th, next Thursday. Would that work?
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
Next Thursday, the 18th? And propane in your name no later than Thursday, the 18th, that we do a 2-month lease, transitional lease.
Motion by Danielle to keep Kate and Keely in their house for 2 months.
Is there any way we could do 6, and if a house comes up, we'll gladly take it? But, I just know I need the 6 months for the payback to pay the full 12, whatever the balance.
I understand that, Kate, but I think Danielle is pointing at 2 to have a real check-in, and that's a real, mark in you having to have things where it needs to be. And as Mark said, the possibilities after that are open,
Oh, okay.
sticking with the 2. Carol?
Yeah, I second that motion, but then also I understand that you were offered a house and a tenant-based assistance, but you didn't receive it. That would have helped with the rent right there. I don't know. if
I'm sorry, what, Carol?
The tenant-based assistance through
I'm gonna
housing.
meet with Monique. I'm meeting with Monique after I leave here, and she said I'm definitely a prime candidate for it, and I'd been on that list, so I'm very hopeful. She sounded very hopeful. She
Yeah.
said, get in here and bring me your new award letter and everything. She said, I'm the prime candidate for the TBA, and so, and I've been on the TBA list, so
Yeah.
I'm hopeful.
Okay, thank you.
Motion by Danielle, second by Carol. All in favor? I got 2, 4, 6, 7, 4. Anybody opposed? I didn't see Len, your vote or in favor? Okay, and Martin? In favor? Unanimous then. Get
Thank you.
together with Lance and get that contract in place.
Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you for your time, council.
Thank you, guys.
Help you.
Good to see you.
Did you need to go back into executive for, okay.
and invite, Mr. Larson in. Go ahead, Tom.
While we're waiting, I just wanted to have a positive report from our tribal law and order. They responded to my wife and I's calls to them last night at 4 a.m. and we've had a neighborhood issue. And they had 3 folks there. They actually captured one of the guys and trying to break into homes and did a great job. My daughter's home. And then they were in the neighborhood, but tribal law and order was there last night and helped out this morning quite a bit. Thank them for that.
Good morning and welcome.
He's actually a gentleman from Navajo land that's been staying at a neighborhood house and got one of them anyway. They knocked on May's house, tried to break into May's house. That was 2 nights before, but this morning, yeah, they were again running around our neighborhood. Yeah, you got one of them. Yeah, you got the Navajo guy. Thank you.
Well, welcome, Mr. Larson.
Thank you. Thank you.
What can we do?
Well, Chief Larson would like to just come in and introduce himself to the tribal council. This is the first time since I've been chief of police that we've had a Hot Springs chief of police come in and introduce himself to council. So the goodwill is pretty huge. He's been asking questions. He's got copies of the retro session agreement, and you've been on for 2 weeks now? Yes. Total. So he's gonna make the efforts to work with us. We'll start inviting him to the chief of police meetings with us. And he already knows Chief Simpson. I'm not sure if he knows the Ronan chiefs and not Hot Springs, but St. Ignatius. So just the fact that he's here, to me, is pretty big. That, you know, Chief Simpson came in, introduced himself. Now we have Hot Springs. So the more that happens, that goodwill, working together, teamwork, collaboration, that's huge in law enforcement because no one has enough staff. It was just good to have him here. Just want to give an introduction. If you have any questions for him or whatever, and I'll turn it over to him and to you guys.
Thank you, Craig. Good to meet you, Chief. I'm Mike Dawson. I'm the representative from the Hot Springs area.
Yes, sir. Well, I just wanted to thank everybody for their time and accepting my willingness to come in and meet and greet and keep it on a more personal level than so professional. I feel as though if we're more relaxed and a casual conversation, relationships grow easier that way in my experience. I come with 25 years in the Bay Area. I worked in the Oakland area, Sheriff's Office, Oakland Police. We moved our family here in 2018. In 21, I became real entrenched and part of the community as a business owner in Ronan, where we currently have a little cafe that my wife is so anxiously knee-deep into it right now. So I believe that relationships are very important. I feel as though, we all have our culture differences and, our operational experience leading to those decisions we make. And I would be remiss if I were to say that I know everything, because I don't. And I'm more than willing to learn as I go from people that have been in it forever and have the experience to share before the need arises to where, if you fail to train, you train to fail. And if you don't have a plan ahead of time, then we're all going to come to the party a little late. So I just wanted to build relationships. I have the support of the mayor who came with me today. And the lack of positive steps in the past is the past. And I don't want to live in the past. I just want to move forward in the future. And with your support to learn the cultural differences and the expectations of police, I do believe that poor behavior needs to be corrected and not enabled, but it needs to be fair. I've suffered personally from malicious police activity because they can, not because they should. And I don't feel as though that's fair. And so I just wanted to take this opportunity to meet you folks and for you to meet me and see that, in fact, I'm passionate about policing. It's been almost 30 years and I'm in my mid 50s and I came back to it. And it's not certainly because of, a high pay scale. The reason we do it and the reason we do it well is because we have a passion for it and we love what we do and we like helping people. And it's a two-way street. You know, it's like a railroad. Police got to work on one side, the community needs to work on the other. We're both going in the same direction, but we sometimes got to operate in our own lane. So that's basically why I came today, and I appreciate the chief carving out time in his schedule to lead from the front and help me out with this. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Chief Larson. And for those of you that don't know Randy Woods, the mayor of Hot Springs, he's in the back. And Jennifer, you had a question, and then I'd appreciate it if everybody would introduce themselves.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself first. I'm Jennifer Finley. I'm the Polson District Representative, and I've eaten many sandwiches in your shop, and I thought I recognized you. So welcome. I love the business that you guys do in Ronan, and I didn't realize that you were a police officer. So good thing I didn't do anything weird in there. You would have thrown me down or something. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I remember you like your favorite spot is by the Coke machine where people can leave you alone.
Yeah. But thank you so much for coming in, and I think that you're a wonderful addition to the Hot Springs community, and it sounds like you bring some really great experience. So thank you so much for coming in.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Go ahead, Daniel. We'll start from that side.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Awesome to meet you today. Thank you for coming in. I'm Danielle. Matt, I'm your neighbor out of Dixon, so I'm the other one in Sanders County. So you got a great group, I think, to work with as far as neighboring departments. So I'm sure they're all happy to have somebody back out in Hot Springs area to assist them as well. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. Chief Larson, thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Len Tuteeth. I represent the Elmo district in the northern part of the reservation. And I want to welcome you and Mayor Woods for taking the time. And I would also like to invite you to the Kootenai Elders meeting to come and introduce yourself. I'm sure the elders would really appreciate that, and perhaps even the Salish Elders Committee, that they meet once a month. I believe the Salish Elders are no longer meeting until fall, but I know in Elmo we're still meeting on the second Wednesday of every month. So just an invitation. But once again, thank you. I appreciate you and the relationship that you have established with our police force. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much. I look forward to working with the elders as well.
Thank you, Sharon, and council. Yeah, welcome. I'm Jim Molitor, representative of Arley District, and I just want to welcome you here. I mean, we can use all the help we can get right now, and it's Hot Springs is a great little town. I used to go out there years ago when I was younger. It's quite a place. I still like going out there, but we need all the help we can get. These officers are doing a great job, and we can use the help. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it. If you want to come out for a ride along, we can go down some old trails together.
I got a grandson that works for the travel police, and he's invited me a lot, and I still haven't gone. I should be going with him.
Okay, well, if you have time this afternoon, I got the police truck out here. We can go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jimmy, they get you in the back seat, they're not going to let you out. Thank you, Chief, for coming in, and Mayor, good to see you again. I'm Tom McDonald. I'm a tribal council rep at large, so I represent all the districts. So everybody, and Bing's the same way. He's an at-large rep. So enjoy Hot Springs. Always have my whole life. I didn't know that that's your new business in Ronan. I'm going to have to go there now. That's cool. I like that. I wanted to ask you, as far as a big change in Hot Springs, how are those one-way streets going? You have to issue tickets for that?
I second what the mayor said. Yes, I have issued, a warning. I felt a warning was more applicable. It's a pretty new street. We could use a couple more signs. And, once they're done with the street, perhaps some arrows. And, then we'll be a little more forceful with the, enforcement of that said violation.
Yeah, I was over there, I think a week after, was it? I don't know, maybe a couple weeks afterwards. And I actually didn't pay attention. And I was going the wrong way down Main Street. And people were looking at me like, oh, what the heck? I guess they like my cool car, but they're really looking at me going down the wrong way. But it was cool. I really enjoy Hot Springs, and thank you for your service. Thank you for stepping up. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, Chief Larson. You're in good hands here with that fella beside you over there. And I really appreciate you stepping up and doing the job over there in Hot Springs for the people over there. And Mayor, we appreciate you tagging along with him today and coming visiting us, and it's great to see you come up. But I just want to thank you for being here and meet, like Tom said, he already knows me. I'm a large person too from the Arlene district, so I just want to welcome you and say thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hesquex, good morning. Yeah, thank you guys for all you guys do. Chief Couture and Fiddler, you guys are awesome. We have the best police force. We'll say yours is the second best since you're here. So appreciate you coming in. Yeah, and I'll echo what everyone else said as far as having that good communication with the tribes and our officers is always important, especially going into the kind of uncertainty that we're going into the next few years. And so hopefully we can build a good, strong relationship with your department and everything you're doing over there to build up your capacity. So thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, to expand on that, how things are uncharted waters here in the next 2 or 3 years is going to really set the stage for success or not success. And so I believe that partnerships and experts in the field on the Flathead reservations, it would be embarrassing for a leader of police that aren't tribal to think that we know how to police on the reservation when in fact it needs to be the leadership of a bigger agency that's, more in touch with what's going on. And this PL 280 is going to be a challenge for all of us. And so, I've been through many challenging parts of policing in my 25, 26 years. So I'm up for the challenge, and I look forward to, to rule with more experience and education, and to pump the brakes and not react with ego and emotion is really the way it needs to be done. And I'm all for taking my lessons and learning. I'm fine with constructive criticism, and I don't get my feelings hurt. So if we do things different or improper in Hot Springs, I want someone to tell us so I can learn and move forward from that.
I represent the Ronan district. My name is Carol Langford Heswex. I just said that all backwards. That was pretty good.
But she is from Hot Springs.
Yeah, I am from Hot Springs. Yeah, Mike Dolson and us graduated together, well, pretty close together. And so I welcome you, Mr. Larson, Chief Larson, to come in and be a part of our community. I grew up in Hot Springs, like I said, and Randy is actually my ex-brother-in-law, but I consider that family very good people. So you're in a wonderful place, and I'm really happy to hear that you have that restaurant or that cafe in Ronan. I've eaten there a few times too. So, and I've got a rough family, so good luck. Oh, but no, actually, they're pretty good. They've kind of grown older, so they aren't so tough. But I really appreciate you saying that you're going to educate yourself about the community, because that's basically, if you start to understand Indian people, and there's a respect both ways, and I think that's very important. But just welcome, and you're young, and I'm glad to see new people in the area, so, and we've got a good group ourselves, so I'm glad you guys are working together. We don't see that too often, and plus the mayor coming in and meeting the council, that doesn't happen with any of our communities very often, so I'm just really appreciative, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am. During the hiring process, I was quite fortunate to obviously get selected, but I'm proud to say that, there's 14 people that applied for the position of chief. And, part of the interview process, it was multi-interviews and times to sit with the mayor. I pretty much was open and I said, look, if I'm gonna get back into it, I really want to do it the way I think it needs to be done with your support. I want to be able to lead from the front. And his leadership and support on wanting to make the department more professional, more inclusive with the community, and not just closed behind that police door. I want to start a bike program and get out in the community. We're going to be the first bike train in the area. I saw a bicycle in the back of a sheriff's truck, and I sure hope the tag flopping on it was evidence, not a ID tag for the sheriff's deputy, because we're going to be the first on bikes. So it's just important to me that we, like you said, be part of it, learn and just get in the fold and learn and enjoy each other, because we're all sitting here and we think back on how quick our lives have flashed before us. The days are long, but the years really are short. My youngest is going to get married next year. And so time flies. So I don't want any of us in this room and the community at large to miss the opportunity to learn from each other and enjoy one another, and still having to do our job. I don't want people to misconstrue the police's kindness for weakness, because that's really the furthest thing from the truth. We're here to do a job, and 95% of what happens is 5% of the people. And once you learn to manage and police that 5%, the other 95 works its way into it. So that's been my experience.
Well, thank you, Chief Larson. Good to meet you, and I hope to see you over in the Hot Springs area. Thank you, Chief Couture. Thank you, Mayor Woods, Captain Fiddler. Good to see you all here, and have a great rest of your day.
All right, thank you very much. And Stella's more than happy to bring another sandwich load for any meetings you have.
Did you guys want a quick break?
We do. We'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll see Dana. Well, good morning, Dana. You're up. So we're back from a small break and
Good morning. Can you hear me?
yep, we can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, so I can't see because I'm with my glasses on, that'll help. So I'm here today for 3 different items. First off, I'm here to ask or to let you know and get your approval for applying for our second round of NDN collective funding, and that funding is used to do our local foods programming. So I'd love your support and approval in applying for that application.
Dana, how much is that for?
$250,000 over 2 years.
Motion by Carol to approve the application for the NDN funding. Second by Martin. What? Oh, go ahead, Jordan.
Hey, good morning, council, and thanks, Dana, for putting all this together. I just wanted to add, from my perspective, how important this grant has been over the past 2 years. And so this funds our local food specialist position, who Terry Ashley is doing that right now. And so in the spring and summer, he's the one who's running our tribal gardening network. And so teaches classes, takes our summer youth programs, vocational rehab workers out there, and just takes care of our gardens, does a lot of the distribution work, and is just awesome. I've been going out to the kicking horse classes when I can, and I learn a lot. And then in the fall and winter, he's the one, him and Elmer go out there and do the hunting. They really work well with the Natural Resources Department on their depredation programs to make sure we're getting our populations in check. And then we take that deer and elk meat, put that in our soups, distribute that to 2 Eagle River schools, and actually in some of our food boxes as well. So just hats off to Dana and Terry, but that position is so important, and that's what the Indian Collective has been funding. They also, I think, have done some berry collecting and things like that with that too, but just so critical for that local foods component to our food sovereignty. So just wanted to add that, and that's what this application would be to hopefully get again.
Second by Martin.
Thank you, Jordan.
Grant application, all in favor? Unanimous. Tom out of the room. Go ahead with your second thing, Dana.
Okay, looking at your screen. Second on the agenda, I think is, can't read it, oops.
Looks like you're having a mural painted.
Oh, I would love to have permission, authorization to do a mural on the north side of our building. Our building isn't well, people don't know where it's at. You know, I'm surprised that people don't know about Kicking Horse Job Corps and where things were. People have never been prior to the facility. Love to do a mural that depicts what food sovereignty is.
She is at Blue Base.
We
We didn't hear all of that, Dana. It sounds like your connection is a little poor.
Let me turn my camera off. My phone's being strange. Gee, can you hear me? I'm gonna try to get my camera off, but I don't know what happened to my sound.
Yeah, we can see your puppy dog.
I'm trying to get a phone to. I don't know what happened to my. There's a weird avatar on my camera. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, the second one, I'd like to do the mural for the building. Just to show who we are as food sovereignty and put some local food ideas with the garden and the foods.
What will the mural look like?
So that's what to get the mural, to put a mural on the building is what I'm looking for.
And so Dana, we haven't contracted with anyone to actually paint it yet. Right now, you're just asking permission to have a mural on the side of the building. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so for that, I think we'd need tribal council approval just to be able to paint something on the side of that building. And so that's, I think, the request here.
Yes. We can come forward then with, designs later after it's kind of approved that we go forward.
Okay. I missed.
So the request was to have council approve the ability to paint a mural on the side of the Food Sovereignty Center.
Is there any objection? I think we can do that with just
And I think they referred us to you.
I think we can do that with just a consensus of us that are here. I don't see it, the mural being a needed the action, so. I think you can go ahead with your mural as long as it's a nice one.
All right, thank you.
Follows the procurement
And-
process.
We will follow the procurement process, making sure we're doing the IPO, checking all of our I's and crossing our T's. So we haven't entered one.
What was that, Dana?
We haven't entered any agreement with anybody yet, so there hasn't even been the procurement process started. We will follow the appropriate methods.
That's what we expect.
Okay, and then lastly, we would like to do a consultant agreement with Grow for Life. The vendor itself is Fred Billings. We've worked with him. This is actually our third season. We're doing a lot of it on our own this year, but there's still a lot of stuff we need from him. We were actually we benefited from his services for 2 years. That didn't cost us anything. He came in with a different package and a different program, and we just benefited from it. I'd like to enter into the consultant agreement with sole sourcing with Fred and Grow for Life through September 30th.
Any questions? Motion by Len to enter the sole source with, is it Garden for Life?
I think it's Grow for Life.
Grow for Life? I think it's Garden for Life, but that's okay. Jen?
And Dana, her and I talked, she is gonna pick the correct amount. So
Okay.
it's for 3,500, not to exceed that 9,999.
Got a motion by Len, second by Danielle. All in favor? Unanimous with Tom and Carol out of the room.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
What we're gonna do, Jordan had a quick request on a couple support letters.
Yes, thanks, council. We do have 2 support letters we'd like your approval on. I'll hand it over to Amelia to explain what those are.
So the first one, we're going to, these requests came in by Councilman James Still Jr. The first letter of support is, we'll send it off to Senator Tester in support of the Parcel Act. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that and what's going on with the local USPS mail situation in Missoula, but this letter is in support of that. I did check with Central Accounting, Cloan, and other various places just to get like their input on it, and then, I did have Jordan review and Shane and Ryan, so, and James Still Junior.
Is there any objection to sending Senator Tester a letter in support of the Parcel Act? And hopefully not end up with our mail going to Spokane.
Yeah.
Don't see any objection. And the second letter?
And the second letter is to support the St. Ignatius Police Department with their application for a COPS grant. Councilman Steele Jr. did, check with Craig and Louie at Law and Order to make sure that this grant won't like affect any of our grants that we have, so that's been checked on, so.
Any objection to a letter of support for the St. Ignatius Police Department? We're good.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you, council.
Ruthie,
And they want to go in executive.
we'll go out of regular into executive. Good morning, Ruth. Morning, Greg.
Well, wait, but I can ask anyway, I guess. Yesterday we was talking about powwow and stuff and the amount of people that were there yesterday, and I brought up to council yesterday, it was, we talked before this, about this before, is getting a new harbor built up in Arlee. And, was wondering, I was wondering if, that could be, put on maybe a plan where we can see if we get funding and stuff to build that harbor, because right now, as it was this past week, it was way too small for what the amount of people and dancers that we had there. And then if we could get another one built, it would be a lot better than, we could keep this old one we have just for stick game, and then take all those other ones down and maybe move that harbor down at end of the powwow grounds, but I brought it up yesterday to council, and I thought, well, and Tom thought it was probably a good idea that we started looking into that, and see if we could get anything off the ground and going on that project. So I thought while you were here, I just kind of mentioned it to you, and just what, like Lynn was talking about that low cost block, with all this hot this weather going on, there's a lot of, air conditioners going on, and there's probably a lot of electricity being used, especially now, the whole Southwest now, and from here, I guess, all clear across the state, really, the nation has been so hot. So I don't know where they're selling their electricity to, but they got to be making some money somewhere, with all this hot weather coming. So, and it's just wondering, I was just, what Lenny was saying, I was kind of wondering where, especially with the percentages that we were getting at one time, now we don't, but it just makes a person wonder what they're making.
I'm happy to follow up with you today with the discussion points, the letter on the evaluation of those revenues. I'm happy to do that. I think that based on my reflection on the discussion that happened yesterday regarding powwow and those types of discussions, Ruth and I participated in a very nice discussion with Lisa and Tony about how each location will nest in the lands department for ongoing property management. It's part of the budget proposal that's being presented today. And I think that really outlines where the responsibility is nested for creating a plan that is set and looks into the future rather than is something that is short term, but really kind of create some milestones for the development of those areas. And there's funding in the budget this year for that accomplishment. It also notes in the budget presentation that there's some latitude if there are larger capital improvement projects, that those can be discussed on a one-off basis. So those things are part of the planned implementation by the lands group under Tony's leadership to make sure that there's responsibility and accountability for meeting those needs year round rather than in a short period of time.
Ruthie's asking for us to acknowledge the report and accept the recommendations from the report. Any objection? I think we're good. Go ahead, Lynn.
Wanted to give you a heads up. Okay, Tuesday, this council took an action to begin negotiating the purchase of the Foster Funeral Home. I'm assuming we probably want your involvement in this to identify a funding source on how we do that, how we purchase it. And working with our economic development department on negotiating the price of this to make sure that that we know what we're I don't want to say what we know we're getting into, but you know, and you both know the one of the primary reasons why we opted to do this is because we did not want these other funeral businesses to buy them out and monopolize the market. Then we would be at their mercy, right? So that was one of the first things we were looking at. Not only that, this is one of the vital services that we could provide to our membership. So I just wanted to mention that to you all and let you know that that's coming up. And so I'm hoping that we can start that process here soon and start working on how we're going to operate and maintain this business. FYI.
Was there a proposal made and did it matriculate to anyone on the executive team, or I'd like to follow up and get that proposal from any one of you if it was presented.
Email the electronic copies to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Greg. Martin.
I apologize, Mr. Chair. I was on the Kootenai Elder meeting yesterday. They're having their Kootenai Culture Camp next week, Monday through Wednesday, at the powwow grounds, meals at the hall. They'll have 3 meals and, yeah, various events. So.
Thank you, Martin. We'll recess for lunch. What time they expecting? 1 o'clock? Well, we're back from lunch. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Do we just jump right in, Mr.
Let's
Chairman?
jump in.
All right, let me figure out if I can figure out how to navigate this.
Is it open or executive, Joe?
It's a health committee meeting, right?
Yep.
Executive.
Executive?
Executive, out of regular into executive.